Okay, so I'm sitting here with my cat, as you can see, and we had a really, really good, pleasant conversation. Something that pertained to tonight's topic, or should we say this morning's topic? It's 1:16 a.m. in the morning. It's my cat. She doesn't really want to interact with this situation tonight. She doesn't really want to talk, so she's kind of doing her own thing, and we both earlier agreed that it was about time that I started getting what information off of my chest. So this is um this is to the men out there that need help. Um, I know that we are living in a time where. Whoa, hang on. Let's try and get this. Let's try and get this. There we go. That's a bit better. Okay. So I know that we're living in an era where men are losing their masculinity and women are gaining their masculinity. So it's kind of like flipping around. Men have a feminine side, women have a masculine side. Now, it doesn't mean that we have to gender swap or gender change. It doesn't mean that we have to change our identities. It doesn't mean that we should be confused as to recognizing consciously our gender and what we are and who we are. But really, that's kind of irrelevant. But that's kind of in the long run doesn't matter. I mean, you can say that you're a male, you can say you're a female. That's for my scientific brain to scientifically perceive and deduce who you are without having to tell you. I mean, you can tell me you're a girl, you can tell me you're a guy, and I know who you are. It's that simple. But anyway, let's delve into the bigger topic. The problem is, I see as a man, my fellow brothers out there, other men, are losing their gender, irrespective if they're choosing to. It's a shame. I think it's a beautiful thing to be masculine. I think it's a wonderful thing for men to retain their masculinity, and I think it's absolutely mandatory for men to be men. Not just because they're biological males, but because it's just a wonderful thing. It's part of life. It's why we're here. You're a male, they're a female. We're people. This is why we're here. We're here to scientifically and really only scientifically reproduce. Aside from that, we're here to live an Epicurean life. We're here to enjoy things. We're here to be happy, and that's imperative. I think that's absolutely necessary, and I think it's a necessity. I think it's something that should never be distinguished from anything else. You know, live and let live. But I really think that men need to have a wake-up call and be reminded who they are. That they're just a fantastic creature as much as women are. And I think that men should never be in denial about the things that make them men, and never, ever, especially, be influenced by other people telling them how to be, albeit their gender, albeit any other nonsensical, mindless gobbledygook. I think that it's especially important that we not only think individualistically, but we come together and we coalesce and we agree and we do things at a clinical level. But also, those things that are done at clinical levels are unconscious actions, they're conscious actions. You don't have to distinguish, you don't have to differentiate what you do in everyday life from how and in any way which your body does things. I mean, you don't necessarily think about your heart beating every second or whatever to give you life. You don't think about those things. Those are actions that are intrinsic. They are bodily functions that are intrinsic. But what I'm trying to get at, and I'm trying to either imply or simply convey to you, fellow brothers out there, the internet is just a carousel of memes. It's the condescending of anything and everything. It doesn't have to matter, but it pertains to life. People bully online, people say things, people do things, people tell you how to be. They tell you how to be a gender. Don't be influenced by these people. You have what your body does. Your body does things without choice. So do things without being influenced by choices and ultimatums. Because if somebody says to you that you're not cool because you don't like the colour blue, who are they to you in your life? These people are ghosts, and they're there to disrupt your fun. I think it is important for men to be consciously blessing themselves about being masculine and retaining that fact of life, to embrace it. Call it pride, call it whatever you want, whatever wanton words you designate. The fact of the matter is that we got to stop bullshitting. We got to stop lying to ourselves. We got to stop simping. Yes, the internet memes simps, and that's a big epidemic. It's important as men to remind themselves that it doesn't matter what other people say, as I just said just now. Therefore, it doesn't matter what a woman says to you. If you say to her that you like her and you want to gain her affection and whatever else that is a positive happening in life, but she isn't into you, she denies you, so be it. If you give her a reaction, or you give anyone a reaction for that matter, it empowers them and it belittles you. Stop living a life like this. This is blinding you from the truth. What you guys need to do, my fellow brothers out there, is embrace again, as I said earlier, your masculinity, who you are as men. Give no fucks about other people, even me. I'm here just as a ricochet. I'm here really just as a messenger to relay what the gods have already stipulated. And the fact of the matter is that, again, stop listening to people. Yes, there are silly things in life, such as people calling themselves theybes and all of this shit and weird pronouns. But the fact of the matter is that, as I said earlier, even if I'm dismissing that, I know who you are. And even if I know who you are, you could give no fucks about what my opinion means anyway. But we both know you're a male or a female. I could put a clown hat on and call myself a politician. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't necessarily resound any kind of fact. But anyway, aside from that parlance, the fact is that you need to man the fuck up. All you men out there. Start growing balls. Become men as what you were. Look at Cary Grant. Look at Jimmy Stewart. Look at all of these men back in the past. How masculine they were. They didn't give no fucks. They weren't introduced to the internet per se. But even if they were, they would still be the masculine males that they were back then. Be independent. Be confident. Be a leader. People garner money. They gain monetary satisfaction from making videos that doesn't really, conveys the obvious, but doesn't necessarily change your life, because the only person that's going to change your life is yourself. If you learn to be a man and be the man that you need to be, you are going to just have clarity, and that's the most beautiful blessing in reality. If you can have if you can have a clarity on life, a good scope on life, your whole perception changes. It needs to change. Some people intrinsically act like idiots because they are. Some people, again, intrinsically act like simps because they are. It's hard to change what is natural, what is imbued in you. And if you cannot change that, then please let my words try and change them for you and help you before it's too late. You don't want to get old and expire and never have lived your life. If you like that woman, get her. If she doesn't want you, fuck her. And remember to be the individualistic male that you were sowed to have been. Whoever created you for that necessity to be independent and to reflect on yourself. Go and read some goddamn Plato.